Sims, former NFL quarterback, on how well prepared the Browns defense was to face San Francisco's offense.
The big thing is, one, their speed, right? And their speed, they're one of the fastest defenses in football, if not the fastest, okay? Then you get into their adjustments at the line of scrimmage, right? I think I wrote at one point the communication they were doing. Because the 49ers with their shifts and their motions and all that, they weren't just going to let the 49ers you're going to shift us in motion and get into a position where now our defense is kind of outnumbered and you're going to go to this list of plays here and we stayed in the same defense because, of what you saw before the shift in motion, and now you're just going to us over with Shanahan's specials. That's what Shanahan does. So they were like, no. When they shift in motion, we got to start thinking of they go to a different group of plays here now that they're in this formation. So we got to make sure we worry about the Rolodex of things that I taught you throughout the week, that they're going to go to these plays now. So they had to communicate and kind of adjust the front and kick over the linebackers. And you're seeing corners talk to the safeties and all of that. I mean, that was off the charts good. To the point where you were like, can they really keep this up all game? Talking like this? I mean, it really was. You were seeing guys moving, and you're seeing everybody point and talk and move, and the linebackers hitting the defensive tackle's ass to move over, a spot or whatever. I mean, so obviously Schwartz has a good feel for what Shanahan wanted to do according to formations. I think that's the big thing.
And Quincy, that's one of the things that Jim Schwartz said was the secret sauce for a defense is communication, and you're seeing it.
You look at any great defense in any sport, communication is the backbone to a great defense. You look at the Spurs back in the day, it used to be all about communication. You look at even a great baseball defense, it's about your shifts, being able to communicate who's going to get what, who has to cut off, who gets this throw, who gets that, and knowing that in real time. And any great defense is full of great communicators. And I think that's the big thing that Jim Schwartz has brought here, right? He's been a great communicator of communications, right? He's been able to get these guys to be able to talk to each other and get to the right spot of wherever they want to be. And I think that that's been the secret sauce of this Browns defense, right? Because remember, the same core players weren't very good last year. Why? Communication. I mean, it's that obvious, right? You don't see a lot of, why are you not here? This and that. Remember, he said that in his open press conference. You're not going to see a lot of this, right? A lot of, ooh, I don't know why are you doing this and that finger point. He's going to make sure guys know where they're supposed to be. And then if they do this, this is where they're going to be. And the way the Browns play man, they still got to communicate heavy, right? Because it becomes like basketball. Hey, they're trying to run a rub play. Okay, who's going over? Who's going over? Am I going under? You got to have all of this communication. You have to over communicate, and you have to know what needs to be communicated at times and what's just noise, right? Because if you communicate too much, it all becomes noise. And also, underrated, very difficult to get that communication down to the defensive lineman because it's hard to hear down on that defensive line, and they tired. Them dudes are tired every play.